Welcome to episode number 123 of the BEBC
BS
Podcast.
Homecoming, it was almost like, with all those, all the former players and coaches and stuff. Pretty exciting.
There were a few of them in town, including one Tom Westerberg.
Yeah. Welcome, Tom.
Coach stopped by the tailgate.
Yeah. For a brief period.
You two were there.
Yeah, did you catch him over at the
Yeah,
gate?
we chased him
We
down.
did. We were.
Yeah.
James and I were off gallivanting, and we got a text. Westerberg's at the tailgate, so we quit gallivanting
Hooked it back over there.
and chased him down at the gate. We got a few minutes.
Yeah, it was
with
good.
Coach.
It was good to see him.
Yeah.
Good to catch up with him.
You know, he is now retired.
Yep.
And he was in great spirits.
Imagine that.
It was. Didn't say
I
a
told
thing.
him, I haven't seen you this happy because you've never been this happy around us before.
He had mentioned that he'd played golf like the day before with Gamble and a few others.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, over
Very
at
nice.
Twin Creeks.
He was in town for the Hall of Honor ceremony. The 2014 championship team was inducted.
Yeah.
So he was in town. So it was good to have a few minutes with him. And
And who else did we have? We had Matt Brown. He lives around here, but
Yeah,
he's
Matt Brown.
a West Side guy. He was inducted. Who else was
Buckner.
inducted? Dan Buckner.
yeah, the 2014 team. Nick Trapuka represented
Yep.
the 2014,
Part of the 2014 team.
So there was a lot of formers in the house last night.
That's right.
To watch a 42-14 Allen
Shellacking.
beat down.
Eventually a dominating performance. It started out kind of even, and then it just
Dominating
blew up in Cedar Hill's face.
a bunch of thugs.
Yeah, and
Oh,
what was the
Yeah, that's a yeah.
We're gonna get into that, but that makes Allen 9-0 against Cedar Hill all time. They've still never beaten Allen, and you know that's just sticking in their craw.
same with Plano
Let me
East.
tell you, that is not a classy team anymore like it used to be.
Joey McGuire,
We miss you, bud.
Joey McGuire, you'd be embarrassed.
you would be.
Yeah, he would be.
The 123rd game in the history of Allen Eagle football,
Against
Was
Cedar Hill?
1972.
Royce City.
No, we played Royce City last week. So you had to
Game 122, right?
you
right.
had to go to another country town, if you could imagine this town in 1972, if it was in Crandall.
Crandall.
Oh,
wow.
mercy.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
They beat Crandall in the battle of field goals. Maybe it's field goals, 9-6.
Oh, wow.
Or touchdown and safety.
Could be, or it could be a touchdown with a missed extra point for Crandall. I mean, there's all sorts of things.
Could be three safeties.
I'm going to say it was 5
All right,
field
well,
goals.
let's research that.
You get right on it.
Yeah, right away.
Let's
Yeah.
give a $1 bounty to anybody out there that
Week
researches
7 of 1972, they beat Crandall 9-6 to go to 5-2 on the season. And check this out, that was a district game.
that. Wow.
Here's your district that year: Royce City, Crandall, Princeton, Farmersville, and Nevada Community.
And we're almost getting close to that again.
Isn't that crazy? The 123rd victory in the history of Allen Eagle football took place, let me see here,
4 years ago. No, I'm kidding.
1983.
College
Wow.
graduation.
They finished the 1982 season 6-4. They opened the season against Midlothian last week, if you remember. They won that one.
Was Wig there at that time?
Wig was not here. The 123rd victory was against Lancaster,
Wow.
Okay.
and they beat Lancaster 40-0.
There's a lot of travel to the south
crazy.
side.
40-0.
That's impressive. I'm
It is impressive. Remember, this is the team that we talked about last week that went undefeated in the regular season.
Mhm.
And just looking here real quick, they pitched 5 shutouts.
Wow.
Wow. There you go, Coach Hargis. 5 shutouts in the
Yep.
season. We may have to look and see if that's the record.
yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yep.
Yeah, but when you're playing 6-man.
So that was it. Yeah, well, 6-man, they score a ton
I
of
know,
points in
just
6-man. It's like, holy moly.
Gosh, yeah.
So Allen Cedar Hill last night, kind of didn't know what to expect. Because everybody
a little
said,
trepidation coming in.
okay, Midland Legacy wasn't what we thought they'd be. It's what everybody's kind of reaction was this week. And I think they're going to struggle. They may win that district, I don't know. But I think they got beat again. Trinity beat them last night. And Trinity, last I saw, that Trinity was in the 50s.
Well, so, all I heard about Cedar Hill was that they had really big lines and they had some really good position players who were going to UT and where else?
They're all going to UT. The three triplets are going to UT.
Were they? I know they're state ranked. Were they ranked higher than we were?
It depends which poll you looked at.
So it was. We were neck and neck basically.
Yeah. The going back real quick, talking about the Trinity Legacy game. Somebody from Trinity trolled us on our page. I don't know if you saw that and said, How did y'all only score 61 against this team? Somebody responded back, how did you let them score 28 on you?
Bazing.
And they actually ended up scoring more. I don't know what the final was. Someone must have looked that up.
Well, trash time doesn't count.
But it was kind of funny. I was like, yeah.
Is that on 6A?
Yeah. It was on our page. So
team page, yeah.
That was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that. So, what were you were just saying? So let's just start at the beginning.
Boys, talk about senioritis.
Because, and we're going to ask Wig this question because I want to know how his take on it because it's.
Well, you know what his take's going to be. That was the most low class. I mean, number one, first of all, the coaches.
Yeah. Went and
surrounded the Eagle at midfield.
And then they split. The players come out of the
they tunnel. Were taunting our players.
63-45.
Okay. They give up 45 to Legacy?
45.
Wow.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah, we need to go to Trinity's page and go,
45. Oof.
45? Seriously?
Yeah,
that's all you got.
45.
How's that defense going for you?
So, and again, you see this a lot in college where college teams will come dance on, and you know what? If you want to come dance on our logo, fine. So be it. What got me was that when they got done dancing,
they coming
turned
towards
around
the sideline
and trash talking,
and
walking towards the sideline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what coach allowed? And again, I know we have a listener from Cedar Hill. We heard from him last week, and I just don't know why you allow that to happen.
Yeah,
what does
you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed by that.
I would be.
Yeah. I mean, grown men.
Coaches.
Coaches. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to set an example.
Teaching their
are sitting
players.
here. I mean, we also, we've also found out there's video evidence of some of those Cedar Hill coaches making crude remarks at some of our talentettes and all that. That's on video. So I'm sure that'll be handled one way or the other
through official channels.
Yeah, through official channels and so forth. But
didn't they also have like a WWE belt?
Yes, I heard they had a wrestling
some kind of belt.
I wonder if they were able to even use that belt because they really didn't do anything worth a crap last night.
I don't. If that's what it takes to get you motivated or fired up to play.
I mean, we do it. We have something like that. Alan
there's traditions, but that's not the kind of tradition that you want your team to have. I mean, in terms of
especially when you can't back it up. Because if I allowed my team to do that and they did what they did last night, no more.
Yeah. You ain't doing that
no
anymore.
more.
And y'all missed the flag thing.
David, tell this story because we missed it.
Yeah, the
student section's got like 3
student
flags.
Section. They're fun. They're rowdy. They talk stuff to the other teams down there in the end zone. So their players were kind of warming up down there on the goal line, and 3 of them turned around and was saying something to the student section, and all of a sudden, one of the players reached up and snatched the "Come and Take It" flag.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
walked on the field,
Yeah.
you know, it's got all over his shoulder and this, that, and the other. They kind of walked around and then walked over to the sidelines and tossed it over on the sidelines. And their coaches were right there,
Yep.
watching the whole thing, and they allowed that to happen. Didn't reprimand the kids, whatever, and just let them have free will on it.
They earned a Times New Roman, capital bold L.
Yeah,
I mean, they earned that.
yeah.
Right from the very
More of
beginning.
a Comic Sans L.
You know, if you think you have to sit there and try and intimidate your opponent before the game, you know, you probably need to look at your own program.
Well,
a little
and I wonder,
deeper.
because I never had that happen when I played ball. I wonder,
That was
does it
a
even
long-
work?
Oh, was
That
that
was
the
a
leather
long
helmet
time
era?
ago,
Oh,
dude.
pardon me. Did I get in your
Long
way?
time
Yeah,
ago.
but does it even work? I mean, do you think anybody on Allen's side, all I got to say is, and I know the coaches didn't like this, LeBron Bauer,
Yes, amen.
Yes,
He's the Woodson who's going to go out and knock T.O. off of the star.
Yeah.
Good for you, LeBron, because I know LeBron would have taken on every single one of them.
Yep.
You know, and,
Passion. I mean,
I
that's
love it.
love for family.
Yep.
Don't let people do that to you.
yeah, don't disrespect us, don't respect our team. You know, good for you, LeBron. And I know,
And
the coaches are going
ultimately-
to tell you don't do it, but
The team showed him on the field.
and that's the
That's
end
where
of the
you-
day.
that's
That's
where
what
you
matters.
show it.
You know,
I hope they enjoyed their tearful drive home last night.
You know, that was a team that played pretty well, made 4 rounds deep last year, and
I don't get it.
They strung a lot of good series together, but they
Couldn't
just
finish.
couldn't punch it in. They couldn't finish.
Yeah, they had their running back, number 22, really
Yeah.
a bull. I mean, ran well, was strong. Took several of our players to get him down.
That
really
one
well.
run, I think he dragged one of our guys
he
15
did.
yards.
I mean, it was good, and there was times where they took him out, and I didn't understand that. Why don't you just keep feeding him the ball?
you know, it's coaching. You never know. I do want to give props, and I think everybody in this table will agree. Cedar Hill band.
Oh, they were
that was awesome.
Yeah.
How fun was
great.
that?
That was great.
It was just fun.
Maybe the Cedar Hill football team and coaches could learn something from the discipline.
They were the better team
that the
that
band
night.
showed. Oh my God!
You know,
Yeah.
just an enjoyable performance that you just couldn't help. You know, I think they got a standing O from our fans.
Yeah, they
afterwards.
did.
They should
They
have.
did.
And it was
And
loud.
They were loud.
They earned it.
They were
6-2
really
was-
loud.
Lord have mercy, they played the 6
With
tubas
that
at once.
and that volume, man.
Well, I mean, the whole first quarter,
Yeah.
they played nonstop in the stands,
The
and it was
same
loud.
song.
Yeah, but it was still.
I had Fort Bend Hightower back in my head again.
Oh, I know.
2008
three notes,
championship
three
game.
notes, three
Oh,
notes.
I was just like, enough. You know, because we sit down right across from them, so it was just constant. But yeah. But kudos to them for putting on a great show and, you know, supporting their team. And it was just, but that was fun. That was
Yeah.
really fun. So
Very much.
I appreciate them doing that. As far as the game goes,
Defense, our defense.
Hargis.
we're going to apologize right here, right now, and I told him we would.
Yeah.
We saw Coach Hargis yesterday, and I said, we're going to apologize to you for not speaking enough about the defense
Last week.
Because anytime you pitch a shutout, and, you know, when you go back and look at that game, there was really only one opportunity for Legacy to really score. Mm-hmm. And they didn't make it on 4th down. They got down inside the 10, and they didn't score. And, you know, if you watched Hargis at the end of the game when we stopped them on their last drive, he was so pumped. And I know for the kids,
It's pretty awesome.
and it was pretty cool. So when we talked to him yesterday, I said, well, you've got a little different animal this week. I said, I don't think Legacy was what everybody thought they were going to be. And then he goes, and they kept just saying over and over, these guys are big and they're fat. I said, fine. You know, I said, you can be big, but speed kills.
It's
Exactly.
funny how
And
our
it showed.
defense made them look puny.
And it showed.
Yeah, it was interesting, and we'll talk about the offense somewhat, but we're going to be defense heavy this week because the defense was really, again, in my mind, the the difference in the game.
Well, that was the highlight in the Dallas Morning News article.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And I haven't read that yet, but if you listen to Matt Diggs yesterday, and, we love the professor. And
the rundown.
His analysis of the game was pretty evenly matched. He goes, but I trust Allen's defense more than I trust Cedar Hill's defense. Mm-hmm. Spot on, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Diggs, I know you listen. Good for you for a perfect analysis of this game. And that defense is 2 weeks in a row. You hold Cedar Hill to 14. You shut out your previous team. And I look at it now and I go, and we're fans and we're allowed to say this. Wig will never really get away with it. The schedule the rest of the way is pretty favorable. You've got.
So Rock Hill's not going to give us a hard time next week?
I mean, on paper.
They won last time.
They should not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they played Sherman.
Well, and you just don't want the team to get complacent and have a little kind of brain fart type thing. But this defense-wise, you put parentheses around the defense, and what defines it? Discipline.
Yep.
Smart. What football IQ?
Yeah.
Because they're in sync, and that's one of the things that I think everybody's noticed. The team tends to be in sync with everything that they're doing, and so stuff works better.
There are more new kids on the block.
He said Backstreet Boys.
that defense absolutely was the dominant part of the whole game last night. But going up by a touchdown with no time left, knowing that they're going to get the ball
to start
the third quarter was huge.
Well, the play of the year so far, we've got that highlight, and I think everybody's seen it. We've got it in slow-mo. James did a great job. He actually posted on Twitter this morning. Carter Harris, great catch. That was big, and that whole drive was big because if you remember, it was only 4 plays, and there was only like
2 minutes.
And it started with a 33-yard run by Bricker, I thought.
It was a lot less than that.
A minute 36.
Yeah, it was less than a minute.
Minute 36 or something like that.
Well, and he had to spike it at 1 second to get that play off.
Oh, that's right.
True.
Yep.
Heads up play by Bricker, so good job.
I was shocked they got it off because it was just,
you saw coaches on the sideline, get back to the line, go. They got the ball with 32 seconds left.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
That's right. I thought it was
less than a minute.
Yeah, and 68 yards away. So and that was huge. It was a difference, and it just carried over into.
So what you're saying is that is D1 next level play.
Yeah,
that was a momentum killer for Cedar Hill. That just they went into halftime.
They went with their heads down.
Well, and they should have because they really didn't play well at all.
Well, did they not play well, or did they just couldn't play well? I mean,
and that running back fumbling the ball out of the end zone. Oops. That was just a great turnaround right there.
Quite a momentum change.
Yes.
Extra effort beat him in the butt on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they also had 2 holding penalties wipe out scoring plays.
Oh,
yes.
So talk about discipline and self-defeating. Well,
yeah.
It's just like you're going to come in, you're going to do all that, and then you're going to play sloppy, undisciplined football where you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Just a side note on that.
Well deserved.
North Crowley beat DeSoto last night.
Yes.
On the game that had almost 1,200 yards
slobber
of
knocker,
offense.
57-51 or something.
29 penalties.
Oh,
17 on Crowley, 12 on DeSoto.
Oh,
wow.
Well, maybe the refs, because there was a lot of holding, a lot of stuff going on interior. Yeah, pick those glasses up. But the refs were letting them play, and it didn't really get out of hand. Except one time.
They weren't letting them play. They didn't know what the heck they were doing out there.
Well, I give them more credit than that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what the game plan was with Cedar Hill, trying to use up every second of the play clock in between plays.
Flower Mound Marcus from many years ago, when during the Kyler years, you don't give Allen, you limit the opportunities
for the offense. Yeah.
Because and I know that I looked it up at halftime. We had run 19 offensive plays at halftime.
Yeah.
Which is, I think we had 3 drives.
Yeah, they controlled the clock.
Scored on 2 of them, thank goodness. Yeah.
Yep.
Their problem was they couldn't score. I mean,
but it's a Marcus, it's a Trinity. Yeah, the ball control
didn't work.
They're trying to do this clock control thing, and they keep getting delay game penalties and have to call timeouts. So they're not even executing the game plan well.
You can't get a play in 40 seconds.
And then they go for the punt. And
that was great.
The punter goes down on a knee to get
down the ball,
receive the ball.
And bless that coach. Did you see the coach come out and he's like, he didn't go down? I'm like, God, he was almost laying down. I mean, it's quite obvious.
Cue the highlight video right here. We'll insert it right there so you can make up your own mind.
Oh, did he get it? He's down. His knee was...
Oh, he's faking.
Down.
That was just priceless.
That's 2 weeks in a row that there's been a punt faux pas by the opposing team, and you're just like, So that's interesting. And it makes you wonder, I'm sure Legacy does, but it makes you wonder how much time and effort Cedar Hill puts into special teams.
Yeah.
Because
they didn't have a kicker.
They didn't because they went for it on almost every fourth down. Yeah. I think only one punt, and that didn't.
Well, you get down as much as they were for the most part. You have no choice other than go for it on fourth down.
So it was a interesting game. It took a little while for Allen to pull away, but I think as the game went on, I felt more and more confident this wasn't going to be an issue. And QB1, another great performance. I think we talked about it at breakfast this morning. You got to be happy with his play so far.
Boy, tough runs. He had tough runs too.
Oh, he's a
headbanger.
headbanger.
We got just a few minutes before we talk to Wig. Yeah. The difference, and I was thinking about this last night when I got home, because I'm always wound up when I get home and I don't go to bed. And it's just like,
I had a hard time. Yeah.
Brick.
Okay, band parent.
Don't no.
You had to fix TV.
No, hi, honey. TV. Come home, fix the TV.
What's the score?
Come home now.
Is that how she shielded it? Oh, what's the score? Oh, come home and fix the TV.
What was that score when I
35-6?
Yeah.
It was over.
The difference between our QB1 and the QBs from the last 2 weeks on running plays.
Day and night.
Brady lowers the shoulder. Now, he ran out of bounds a couple times, which is a smart play as opposed to
sure. I mean, why sacrifice the body if you don't have to?
But, when you say that, though, you look at the last 2 weeks and the two quarterbacks from Legacy and Cedar Hill, they were not getting hit. They did not want to be hit. They were going down, sliding. Have you seen Brady slide?
No, but he ran. If I'm not mistaken, he ran out of bounds on a first down play.
Yeah,
or whatever. Still had more, which was a smart thing to do.
And his long run, he ran out of bounds.
Yeah,
at the same time.
4 or 5 yards to go.
Yeah, but that at the end zone on his 17-yard touchdown run over his shoulder.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
He to me, he's setting a tone for everybody else. Hambrick did it last week on his long run, not his touchdown. Last night on his touchdown run, which you missed, you were gone. Lowered that guy was like at the 2-yard line, and Jaden said, "I'm coming."
Went through him.
Right through him. And it was. I like the toughness these guys are showing, as opposed to not. So there's something brewing over there.
They've got something special going on.
Yeah. We'll.
And his confidence gives the team confidence, and the team's confidence gives him confidence.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to Wig here. Let's see what he thinks about last night. It's going to be...
And what his thoughts were on the pregame
shenanigans. Yeah. Well, teams are going to do that.
Hello?
Hey, Coach. How are you?
Doing well. How are y'all?
We're ecstatic. We had a lot of fun.
Good.
That's the point, right?
Thanks for putting on a good show.
That's right.
Well, we've been discussing things here for about 30 minutes. We started a little early this morning, and we're going to ask you a question, and you can either short answer it or you can long answer it. It's up to you.
Okay.
Because it's kind of sensitive.
Okay. Potentially.
Yeah, potentially. And we're going to call it this word, and it may not be what you think it is, but the nonsense that happened pregame, what is your thought on that? I mean, how do you view all that?
I don't have a strong opinion. I mean, certain teams are going to do certain things that they feel, need to get their team ready to play or things like that, I guess. All in all, I think that going to do something like that, ultimately, I think if you do it on someone else's field, you're trying to make a statement that we own this place. This is our field, and if you're gonna do that, and certainly I think if you're going to do it and have coaches circle around, then your coaches need to be looking at your sideline exclusively, and you're going to make sure your kids are looking at your sideline exclusively, and you're going to anticipate that that's going to be offensive. That you've talked about the fact that, hey, we're doing something offensive, but we're, for whatever reason, it's part of who we are. So, don't make this, a confrontational thing. But it's what they do, I guess, and they believe in it.
Paid off for them, didn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's one of those things that you sometimes coaches will plan things and do things that take away from what the game is. It's supposed to be 22 kids on the field playing football, and some people want to make it more than about the kids.
Yeah, I don't recall Joey McGuire ever letting anything like that happen when he was coaching there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and it from my mind, it makes us appreciate you and the program and the coaches and what you guys are building over here. So I'm happy with it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if our guys could do Ring Around the Rosie without falling down. So
That's for certain.
All right, question for you. I know all our questions are stupid, but we're going to ask them anyways because that's what we do.
Yeah.
What was y'all's game plan going into this game against Cedar Hill? We're kind of just wondering what you thought you could do, and did you have to change that at all?
We thought it was going to be a tremendous struggle. We on the defense side of the ball, we thought that they didn't have a passing attack that was to be feared and huge up front, and just going to lean on you over the course of the night, and felt like that we were going to have to just play well to stop the run, and then offensively just knew it was going to be incredibly tough to run against them, and thought that we were probably going to have to find a way to throw it quite a bit if we were going to move it at all, and we're going to want to always see if we can run it and find a way to run it, and then be able to mix in the pass. But we really went into it thinking that it was just going to be really, really, really tough to run against that defense, and they proved us right. I mean, it was indeed both sides of the ball. Really, the only thing to me that was surprising is not that they threw it well, but they did. To me, when you talk about throwing, it's are you able to move the chains with the passing game? If you're a team like that wants to run the ball, and I thought they did a good job of keeping some drives alive against us.
Yeah. Their first 3 drives, 10 plays, 12 plays, and 24 plays, but they came up empty most of the time, and ultimately that shows the grit and determination of the defense. We've been keying on the defense all morning and just kind of celebrating them. We were a little bit remiss for not giving them enough love last week, but they certainly have earned it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because that team rushed for 332 yards last week, averaged 10 yards a carry, and y'all held them to 108 last night. So they can lean on you all you want, but the results were something that obviously worked in Allen's favor.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and they're a good team. They are. They'll. I would be shocked if they're not. About where they were last year in that second, third, fourth round game. Playing DeSoto again. They play. Where I moved from, Midlothian used to be 6A, and then they opened a second school. And Midlothian's a 5A program, and they're not of the Cedar Hill caliber right now at all. Yeah. But I do think that Cedar Hill is a good team still. It'll be interesting for me to see how they, when they play, other 6A teams, how they stack up against the. I think they're in that district with DeSoto, Duncanville.
Yep. Waxahachie.
So I'll be anxious to see how those games play out. No disrespect to Midlothian, but but Midlothian right now, the 5A version of them is not DeSoto, Duncanville, or I think Allen right now.
They're in there with DeSoto, Duncanville, Lancaster, Horn, Mesquite, Waxahachie, and Skyline.
Yeah, so there'll be 4 though. The Waxahachie, and then the Duncanville, DeSoto, Lancaster. Those will, it'll be those 5 vying for the 4 spots. So that'll be interesting to me.
That's right.
Not that it matters, but just to see how, because again, it's hard to. I think they're a good team. I do, and that's what I wish we could see into the crystal ball and be able to talk more intelligently. Is, are they really a good team? And we really won't know until they play those 4 teams probably, because they could easily be sitting at home and not be in the playoff easily.
Yeah.
Or they could beat one of the 4. I'd be shocked that they could beat either Waxahachie or Lancaster or possibly both, but it would take. They're going to have to get a lot better to beat a DeSoto or a Duncanville at this point.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your offense. You had Lyndon Spriggs running back this week, and 244 yards rushing. I think he stepped up pretty well. Any other thoughts about?
Yeah, he's just he's a good little ball player. Played well last week too, and this again. Defensively, that's just they're a tough team to move the ball against. They're in the run game for sure, and I thought the Spriggs as a sophomore did a really good job, just keeping his feet moving. There weren't hole. It's not like there was a lot of things that you say, oh my gosh, this is just wide open. Certainly between the tackles, but he really just kept his pad level, kept his feet driving, and did some good things. He's a good football player.
Yeah, and that's something we noticed, a lot of good motion, from Bricker, and then getting that on some runs to break it out, around the edge. Real effective.
It's just, there's just, again, against them, we knew going in, and again was confirmed early that you're not going to make a living just pounding it between the tackles. They're both sides of the ball in the box. They're just really, really big, but they're not just big, slow and sloppy. They're good football players in the trenches, and we did some things that put them in a pickle on the perimeter to get some cheap yards there. But overall, I thought it was just, again, guys just battling to get on blocks and stay on blocks and fight for extra yards when you could without being silly by extending the ball and maintaining ball security. It's just, that kids executed and played well on both sides, I felt like.
Yeah, and we know you drew it up just like this, but the last play of the first half could have gone any better.
No, and the last play, is great. It's obviously something we practice all the time. But
that was our play.
It's just the whole execution, that you go in that scenario of. Again, it's fun for me because that's what I like is the preparation of things like that, right? And when you go and you execute, and it started with Brady making a good decision, pulling it down, getting all he could, getting out of bounds, and then we're going to take a shot in the end zone, and you get sacked, and then it's easy for when you got 4 receivers way downfield, for them to say, oh gosh, here we go into halftime, but they sprinted back, got set in time to stop the clock with 1 second, and then able to execute the Hail Mary that will work every week, and it's just really cool. It's really obviously huge momentum going into halftime. Obviously, I think had an impact on the second half, but to me it was way more than that. It's just about the weekly preparation of things like that, and the execution by the athletes on the field of doing it. It's really cool when you see them put it all together.
Yeah, the discipline to get that clock stopped in 1 second was really huge.
Huge. It really was huge. Yeah.
Thanks for implementing our play, Coach. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it was it. Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that we noticed, and I put it in the post that I did on X with that video, is what great entertainment for some of our alumni players that have come back. Dan Buckner was the clutch 6'5" receiver. No matter where it was, when it was thrown up, he was coming down with the ball. And to see the excitement on him and Nate Bonsu's face, and I don't know if that was Jalen Barlow or who else was down there, a real legacy kind of builder there, and gives them so much excitement. I hope it's stuff like that that keeps more of the alumni coming back and enjoying what you guys are doing.
I do too. That is so awesome. That's.
I don't know if the kids appreciate that, but that's special. That is really special.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we try to keep bringing the alumni around so that because it's it doesn't matter where you are. You talk alumni. Well, kids are still kids, and it's hard for them to. I mean, when they're 4 years old, they remember the football team, but they don't remember players unless you keep it relevant and keep it in front of them. And we really want to do that for those times, So hope that the alumni will come around and we hope that what the kids are doing out there on the field continues to give them pride. And then you have Dan on the sideline, and you on that play, I'm sure he's thinking that's how I always did it, and so it makes us older guys, alumni that come back, kind of relive their glory days. And I'm with you. I hope we can keep getting more and more coming back on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Well, Coach, the games that don't matter are over.
Yeah, that's right. That's that's what we said. I mean, that's what y'all know how we approach everything, and that's what we said. Said, guys, first season is over. The one that doesn't matter is over. You went and you had 2 really good games in that season. I'm proud of you, excited for you. I thought you did what you should have done, and you did it in fine fashion, and good job. Now everyone is back to, it's like we finished our scrimmage. We're back to now the season starts. Us and Prosper Rock Hill and McKinney and Prosper and Plano East. And everyone is same exact schedule, same exact outcome of everything that they've done. And let's go play ball. Let's go find a way to get in the playoffs.
We talked to the kids as they come out after the game too. And last night there was a theme that we heard from several of the players and it basically was, we've got something special here. I think they feel it, and I think they see the opportunity in front of them to be, a really good team as the season progresses here. I think getting through these first 2 games was a big confidence builder for a lot of your kids.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope so. Just again, when you're around them every day, you see what they're doing, and I think. Certainly, I think you could paint a picture to where, we keep getting better every week. We would have to certainly do that, and we will. Just as what you see live or you go through the film this morning, as we're, grading it. There's things that we're going to have to prove a great deal, but I'm sure what gives them, that confidence is that they just keep finding a way. Whether it's a way to stop a drive, or it's a way to finish a drive. It's those things, and then coming out on top in games against respectable opponents, gives you that confidence. I love this team. I love everything about them. I love the way they work. I love the way they care about each other. I love the way they care and respect the game. It's just a fun group to be around. So I hope we continue to improve each week.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to speak for Tom Westerberg, but I think he probably really appreciated the drives that your offense was able to put together and kill some clock and really take advantage of the scoring opportunities, but also stretching out those drives. So good job.
Yeah.
A balance of play calling and a balance of execution.
Yeah, it's so much of who, there's a lot of ways to play the game of football, and you see, on Saturday, you'll see all kinds of different, up-tempo and all that teams, and I love it. And it's a big piece of who we practice to be every single day. I just believe that the way you play defensive football as a football team is by keeping the defense off the field. And you see that, as a defense, you mentioned those long drives. Well, that's tough on the guys, and you go 9 plays, 14 plays, or whatever that is, and that's tough, So, if you go out there and you go up tempo, bam, 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 and you score real quick and you put them back out there, it's just not going to end well. I believe philosophically in the game of football, so that's really important to us. To control the time of possession, we've got to always, this isn't this year. This is every year that I've coached. Is we're going to try to, keep the defense on the sideline as much as possible for that reason. But to do that, you have to execute, like you said. You have to maintain blocks. You have to make good reads and everything that you're doing. You have to fit stuff out. It's tough to do because the other team, they actually practice throughout the week as well, so it's what makes it fun. Just again, the whole thing is just that's why I love this game. I think that every time you step on the field, it's just a beautiful painting being painted, and I love to see each stroke occur, whether it's in the special teams, this 2nd and 7 play defensively, or this, they just all have their own touch that makes it, the outcome, right? That makes it that beautiful picture at the end of the night. It's just just fun. It's just fun, especially when you see it coming together from late December through all you just see all the maturation and the work and preparation that these kids do and the coaches do. Just really proud of all of them.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting Ethan Nava get some playing time last night.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Not that you want to see him,
not very excited about that, but but he did a good job. I wish that one would have held up before it rolled in, but yeah, I mean, good job. Both of the punts were well executed.
Yeah. Speaking of confidence, let's get to your picks. You went 3-2 last week.
Good job.
All right.
Eight now, and just to let you know, I'm keeping track, and I'll shoot this to you. But you, myself, Coach Hargis, and Chris Cumnock are all picking games. Okay.
Okay.
You and I went 3-2, and Hargis and Cumnock went 2-3. So we got a 1-game lead on these guys.
All right.
This week's schedule isn't as beefy as last week's, but so the games are a little bit different. So
okay.
First game, Arkansas's at Oklahoma State.
Be careful on this one.
Yeah.
Go Cowboys.
Yeah. I my son started at Oklahoma State, and I'd never been to a game, but went up there and got to go to one. I love that atmosphere, and I don't know. I think that Arkansas could win that game, but I'm going Oklahoma State. I just. I was really shocked, and I don't know if y'all follow Oklahoma State much, but Gundy, I was always, thinking he's an air raid, wing it, and all that. But what I found in the season, my son was there. It was the year they actually went to the Fiesta Bowl. I don't think they were very good offensively, but I think they did a phenomenal job of controlling the clock, of finding a way to generate some yards, and then finding a way to keep drives alive. And I really, really, really liked the fact they did that. And it sounds like just by watching the result, the yardage of what they do, that they're doing the same, and that's just hard ball to stop. So I'm going Oklahoma State.
All right. 2 ranked teams. Tennessee is at North Carolina State.
North Carolina State or North Carolina?
North Carolina State. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take Tennessee.
All right. They looked good last week. Okay, here's the shocker of the week from last week. Iowa scored 40 points, which they haven't able to. That's about how much they scored all of last year.
Yeah, in a season.
Yeah. So Iowa State is at Iowa.
Man, what a cool! I would think that's a cool atmosphere. I don't know, but I would think that's got to be a huge rivalry game, and I would think a big game in that state. But I would, man. Iowa State to me is like Oklahoma State. I like what they do. I'm out of the loop on what they have. And where are they playing? At Iowa?
At Iowa, yes, sir.
I'm gonna take Iowa then.
All right. Interesting game just because of the way Oregon played last week. Boise State is going to Oregon.
Yep, I'll take Oregon.
All right. maybe a bounce back for them. And then the game of the week, and here in about an hour and 25 minutes, the Longhorns are at the Wolverines at the Big House.
Big Blue.
Yeah, and I know most people are thinking that's, I haven't heard anyone give Michigan a chance in anything that I've heard. I'll be shocked if it ends up, being a rout. Shocked. But I do think that Texas is probably the most talented team in the country, and I would have to think that with the changes that happened at Michigan, that they're still a little behind the curve, and I think Texas will win it too.
All right. That'll be fun. That'll be a big one. I saw NATO had a really big block last week on Arch Manning's touchdown pass. He cleared the lane for him.
Oh, awesome.
It was really cool. He got mentioned.
So is he not starting?
He is not, but he's playing a lot. He had a good competition in camp, but he just didn't win the starting job. But he is playing. So.
Okay. Because I think that they said he was starting in the spring or at one point. But,
it won't be long.
No.
It won't be long.
I know they're high on him for sure.
Yep. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Next week at Rock Hill, the first away game of the year, first district game.
We'll be there. We'll be there with our bright and shiny faces on.
I know y'all will, and as will the kids. And they're they left with a smile on their face last night. And they'll show up ready to work this morning, and can't wait to see them, and can't wait to see y'all next Friday night.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you for what you do, Coach.
Yeah. Hey, y'all have a wonderful week.
You too.
You too.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Goodbye.
There he is, Coach Wig. We now have his thoughts on the nonsense, which he thought it was too.
I think it was a
Boy,
good
he
take.
kind of danced around it a little bit, and I get it.
No, I knew he would start dancing, but then he got into it.
He got into it.
Yeah. I've lost a little respect with that Oklahoma State pick.
I just want to see him grow his hair like Gundy.
Oh my gosh, Wig
with a mullet.
Then that Wig nickname will really go with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, maybe we need to get a hairdresser to fix him up in a wig, a Gundy wig.
There we go.
Boo Bowl.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
we go.
Boo Bowl.
Total yards last night: Allen 385, Cedar Hill 283. Bricker again. He was 8 for 12.
66%. Yeah.
A couple touchdowns. Averaged 10.8 yards per pass. So anytime you're averaging over 10 yards a pass, you're doing well. Yeah. Cedar Hill had 175 passing, 108 rushing. Again, they rushed for 332 last week, over 10 yards a carry. Again, he was talking about Midlothian being a little bit down, but
what was the average this week?
2.92, so less than 3 yards a carry.
We'll take that.
Yeah, it's a plus 3.86 as far as yards per carry. Penalties. We only had 2 penalties.
That we got
I
over.
saw that on that, and I was like, nice.
Again, we feel they were letting them get away with a little bit, and we might have got away with it.
On both sides.
Yeah,
both sides.
We had no swim moves by our offensive linemen over the defensive linemen this week.
A little breaststroke.
Which was funny last week. Had 1 turnover. We'll talk about that when we get to that point in the game.
They did too.
And
They
we're
had 3.
but we're plus
I know,
3.
but
Yeah, we're plus 3
very,
against them.
Fortuitous. Memorable. Yeah.
On the offensive side again, Bricker was 8 of 12. Nate threw 1 pass, was incomplete. Did get in the game. And I told him last night after the game, I expect the next couple of weeks we'll see a lot more of Nate.
Hope so. With some of the competition we're playing.
I started to say something to Coach about it, but I didn't because we're fans and we're allowed to look at the rest of the schedule and go, okay, the competition level, at least for a couple weeks, is going to dip a little bit.
Yeah.
And so hopefully a lot of guys can get some playing time and get in there and do things.
Yeah.
As we've already mentioned, Lyndon Spriggs, 10 for 89 last night.
Very serviceable.
Yeah.
Very serviceable.
Well, and I like what they did because if you look here, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys rush the ball last night.
Well, I think Hambrick took the second highest. 10 attempts.
Yep.
7 and 7 Holloway and Brady, had 7 also, as well as Holloway.
Yeah,
but it seemed like Jaden they were running him up the gut mostly, right?
I felt sorry for him. It's like, Spriggs, they were sprinting to the outside.
Exactly.
And Jaden, they were trying to go up against those two tackles. Like Coach was saying, it's tough to run against the tackles against that team. I was like, man, they just keep pushing him right up the gut. The poor guy. It's like
Jaden was having to go in the pressure cooker.
Yep.
And then Spriggs got to have the air fryer.
Yep. The air fryer.
Air it out. Get some distance.
Only how long he thought that one was.
Yeah.
Oh, right off the top of the head.
Up all night.
Yeah.
Again, only 8 completions last night. Didn't have, he thought. I thought it was interesting. He said they felt they could pass, and they ended up running a whole bunch more. But 8 completions. Only one player had 2 catches. There were 6 others that had 1, and we'll talk about that as we go through the play-by-play because there were some big ones made.
Oh yeah.
Which is fun. Allen gets the ball first. And you got to love it. Last week we had the opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So you set the tone really early. And now you receive the ball, and you're like, okay. But they go 10 plays, 75 yards.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful pass over into the side of the end zone.
It's 2 weeks in a row that Bricker and Donnell have connected on a corner. And, Donnell made a great catch.
Yeah.
Last week, when you go back and look at it, the catch wasn't as difficult as this week's catch.
Up and a little bit in front of him where the defender can't get to it.
Yep.
Well, the defender last week, his head was turned to the ball, but this one, he was turned looking for the ball, and he just took it away from him.
Wow, Donnell.
Yeah, beautiful. Insert highlight here.
Yeah.
God, it was
his only catch of the night, beautiful. But it's just like you're a highlight reel every time you get the ball. So way to go, Donnell. Cedar Hill goes 10 plays, 30 yards down to the Eagle 33. They get 4th and 7, and they have an incomplete pass. Right. So turnover on downs. So check mark to the defense. Allen takes over, goes 5 plays, 13 yards, and
punted for the first time all season.
We got to see the punter.
Golly.
And punted it down to the 12-yard line. So again, it doesn't necessarily need to be the distance on the punt. A lot of it's where you put it, and that was a diagonal. In fact, he kicked the returner out of bounds. He caught it and he ran right out of bounds because he caught it and just went out. That ended the first quarter. So we had talked about they only ran 19 plays in the first quarter, in the first half. Allen only had the ball twice, and Cedar Hill only had it once as the first quarter. Because Cedar Hill was doing that, let's use every bit of the play clock.
Yeah,
it just took forever to get to play, and like Cody said, and then you get delay of game penalties. Killed them. They only had 5 penalties. It seemed like a lot more than that.
It did seem like more.
Well, we got confused because they had 62 kids lose their helmet during the play and have to run off.
God, no, good point. That was
unbelievable.
That equipment manager had a problem.
I don't know what was going on.
They were more focused on taunting our players instead of taking care of their own stuff.
Oh,
that's what happens when you go with the discount chin strap manufacturer.
It's just every other play, a lineman was losing his helmet.
Yeah. And sometimes 2.
2.
Yeah, it's 2 on one play. You're like, really?
Hey, we lost a helmet one time.
Oh, it's like, give me a break. Cedar Hill gets the ball, goes 12 plays. They only go 11 yards.
11 yards in 12 plays?
Yeah.
How'd they manage that?
Well, they had a 13-yard loss on their, they get 1 first down, and then they have a 13-yard loss on 2nd and 8. And
then have to punt the ball.
They punt it. Allen takes over on their 42. And this is where I was. I don't question Wig a lot, but 3 straight runs up the gut by Jaden. We were talking about him.
Yeah. You didn't bring it up when we were talking.
Well, no, I don't.
Yeah, what's the point?
He just got possessed by the ghost of Jason Garrett for the series there.
It's just like beating your head against the wall 3 straight times.
I think it was more Chad Morris.
And so Allen,
he was softening them up for the.
Is that what it was?
For the Spriggs runs to the outside.
They go 3 plays, 3 yards. They punt, and Ethan has a 55-yard punt into the end zone. Coach said he was talking about the one he wanted to check up. That would have been nice if it had.
Yeah.
Cedar Hill gets the ball back with 7:42 left in the quarter. 24 plays,
24
80 yards. They score a touchdown.
And you're watching episode 24.
Oh, it was long. Mm-hmm. They fumble the snap.
Oops.
They try to do a pass at the very end. It goes incomplete, so it's 7-6. Allen takes over after the kickoff
Donnell did
on
a
their own
respectable
28-yard line with 32 seconds left. Let's keep this in mind. This is a good thing to remember later in the year if they need something.
Very true. Bricker fires off a long run, 32 yards down to the 40.
Yeah, he does. Then they have a sack on the next play. And we were talking to Coach about they managed to spike the ball with 1 second left. They're at the Cedar Hill 42.
No timeouts, though.
Yeah, no timeouts. Cedar Hill 42. Bricker rolls to his right. He has all the time in the world. And everybody has probably seen this highlight by now. We are obviously going to insert it here, but Carter Harris goes up and he high points it. All the defenders are actually behind him.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's almost like he's rebounding in basketball. Keep the defenders behind you, position, go up, get it.
He high pointed it. He came down. The sideline erupts. The alumni are up. The fans are up. And you're up 14-6 at halftime.
What a demotivator for Cedar Hill.
Yeah, because they've just scored. There's only 32 seconds left, and Allen's taken over on their own 28-yard line.
So what's the motivation speech on Cedar Hill's side for halftime?
We're still in it. We're still in it.
You've taken
We're
everything
gonna
out of the
We're going to
tank.
head out to the Eagles' head again at the beginning of the second half, and we're going to intimidate.
And go the opposite way. We're going to run
this
backwards.
time we're going to insult our own team.
I'll choke on my drink on that one. Insult our own team. That's good, Nolan. That's good.
Not book-worthy, but good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty book-worthy.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Okay.
Halftime comes. Cedar Hill Band, as we've already mentioned, was great.
Blows it out. Discipline.
We love Phil Abato. He's a good friend of ours. We talked to him. He came and talked to him last night after the game. He came to talk to us, but they got some work to do on that halftime show. For my award.
Yeah.
The music was off.
The marching was off.
Man, it's quiet.
Telling it dads.
The volume was way down.
Yeah, telling it dads. It's always a fun show to watch those guys because there's so many of them that have no coordination.
No idea what they're doing out there.
Zero.
Well, they
not like that we would.
But God love them for doing it.
Yeah. You know, and at the very end, where some of them jump on their dad's arms or they jump on their back, it's a cool moment. So good for them. But it is funny because some of them are so uncoordinated. It's just like, whoa.
I can't watch it.
It is. I mean, it is. Some of it's cringeworthy.
It's too rough.
Yeah.
It's funny. Allen kicks off. Cedar Hill goes 7 plays, loses 6 yards.
Good job. Way to go.
This is the fourth down when they went back to punt, where the punter
took the knee.
It's a bad snap, or he drops it. I don't remember which
It's a bad
one.
snap.
It was a low snap.
It was.
It was on the ground.
And he goes down to pick it up, and he puts his knee on the ground and picks.
He touches it with his knee on the
And
ground.
kudos to the ref who
Called it.
The Cedar Hill coaches really mad.
Really bad.
They're like, no, he was up. He was out. He was clearly down, as the video will show.
Watch the highlight.
Sir,
Got it.
Yep. Allen takes over on the 19-yard line. It only takes him 3 plays. I hate when they do this. They cut it off. They got down to the 9.
Well,
who scored on that play?
That was. I thought that was the fumble.
No.
Ethan.
That was down on the other end
yeah.
zone. That was that wasn't Bricker's.
Well, that was the pass to Hayden Keys.
Well, Hayden only got down to the 6.
Right.
And on the next play,
You sure that wasn't Bricker's run to the left?
no, he went 17 yards on that.
No, that was Linden. He did a counter and he just kind of trotted in.
Allen goes up 21-6. Cedar Hill gets the ball. They go 7 plays, 7 yards. Allen takes over on their 38.
Way to go defense.
First play, they have a miscommunication in the backfield.
Oopsies.
Something happened and they fumble and they can't get on it. Cedar Hill takes over. And I think this was a big point in the game too. They take over on the Allen 35. They get down to the 6-yard line or the 7-yard line.
Yeah.
And the running back breaks through the line. He gets almost to the goal line and he
flips over on his back and
tries to put the ball over his head.
Out the end of the end
He
zone.
just slung it out the end zone.
Slung it up.
Touchback.
Karma.
Yeah. So instead of potentially making it 21-14, it's a touchback. Allen takes over. They go 16 plays, 80 yards.
Dominating. Only 3 minutes 19, but still very, very efficient.
Another touchdown there. Again, the Dallas Morning News is cutting everything off.
Or it could be your printer.
No, because it's like it says, 2nd down and 1 at the 8.
And that was his second touchdown, 7-yard run. Yeah.
Well, they get down to the 1, and then it's a touchdown run in it, but it doesn't say who it is. Allen scores again, makes it 28-6, and at this point, I'm calling ball game. I'm just saying these guys are done.
Yeah, my wife did too.
Yeah, she did. Cedar Hill gets the ball. They run the second play, and they fumble again. It's their 3rd fumble of the night. Allen gets it.
Yep.
On 2nd down here.
Is that the one where practically pulled it out of the quarterback's hands?
He just right in his lap.
Let's get that highlight.
Mid handoff,
That was
put the highlight in there.
awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Would have been better if he went all the way and scored, though.
Yeah. Jacoby Wilkerson gets
rumbling, stumbling.
1st and 10 at the 17. Brady goes left, and we talked about it a little early.
Well, 17-yard nifty rush and
gets to
pops
the
that last 2 yards.
He doesn't go out of bounds. He puts that head down. He goes, "You try and stop."
Right above us. We should move up quite a bit then.
You know, if y'all ever get close to Brady, you don't realize he's a well-built kid. He's muscular and he's strong and he's 6'2" maybe.
Yeah.
And
he's not wiry.
He's well built and he'll lay the wood on you, and he did. And we talked to him after the game about it. He said, "You're not going down, honey." He said, "Not when I'm that close."
Oh, and he's very nonchalant about it. We talked to a woman before the game that kind of knows his demeanor and stuff, and
that would be his mom.
He has just got a really good. He's got a really good football mentality, you know.
We're like trying to protect the innocent here. What's
right
going
as
on?
people don't want their names mentioned, but
Well, what was that
Write
little
it down.
cup of mango something? And
I have no idea.
oh, the second one was even more fancy.
Oh,
But
well,
yeah,
No.
We went down.
No,
to the
no,
tailgate
no,
for
no,
a
no,
little
no,
bit, But anyhow, scores makes it 35-6. Cedar Hill goes 16 plays, 75 yards. Scores finally. They get the 2-point conversion. It's 35-14. Allen gets the ball back after an onside
kick recovery by number 14.
There you go, Carter Harris again.
Way to go, Carter.
Good cover. Good job, Bo.
Your catch got down.
Yep.
Got it, went down.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Love it.
And for the second week in a row, last week we established the Allen Wright Foot in Your Mouth Award.
Oops.
Because it was, 3rd and 17, and they ran almost like a counter draw, and he started, you'll hear it on the video if you watch the highlights, like, what in the world kind of play call? Oh! Because they got the first down on that.
Yeah.
And Allen got down, and it was 4th and 2 at the Longhorn 15. They started to kick the extra point, or the field goal, and they called timeout, and they changed their mind, and they came out in a running formation. And I was just like, I don't like the personnel in here as Jaden Hammer goes around the left end and rushes for a touchdown.
Yeah, they gave it.
And I got 8 kudos, and I haven't seen the film, so I don't know, but they were trips left on that. And those three wide receivers cleared out that area.
They locked their guys up.
He didn't get touched till he was down about the 2, and he had a Brady Bricker moment, lowered his shoulder and went in. But I get the foot and mouth award for this week.
Yeah. Congratulations!
See who gets it next week? We need to get a trophy or something.
There we go.
Amongst each other.
It's got to be the
that.
cheapest little 25-cent thing we could find.
Well, because and here's why.
Here, hand me that eagle.
Yeah, that was not cheap. That is a hand blown special order. Even.
You know about blowing.
Hey. What was I going to say? Because when Jaden was in the game, and I feel sorry for him. Again, I just felt he was running between the tackles all night long. Yeah. I didn't expect them to run wide with him. And 4th and 2, going through the gut, I was like, that's not going to happen. And they ran him wide, and he scored a touchdown. So foot and mouth award.
And good for him.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad to see it pay off, all that inside running.
No scoring after that. Cedar Hill has to punt. Allen gets the ball, and they run off most of the time. Ball game over. Allen wins 42-14 to move to 2-0 on the year. As we said, the games that quote-unquote don't matter are over, although I think they matter because I think it does a lot for your football team. But district play starts Friday night, 7 o'clock in Prosper.
Prosper Rock Hill.
Who, if you go down the district last night, Rock Hill actually won. They beat... you're not going to like this, Nolan. Actually, that's not true.
Oh, was it Richardson?
No, Rock Hill actually played Sherman Thursday night. They won 43-7. They're 1-1 on the year.
Ow.
Plano, after losing to Permian last week, played Richardson last night.
Yeah,
they beat them 34-18 to move to 1-1. Plano East is now 2-0 on the year. They beat North Forney and head coach Marcus Shavers 34 to 21. Plano West falls to 0-2 on the year, losing to Richardson Pierce, who is now 2-0 on the year.
Go Stangs.
They lose 42-10.
What a transformation, Pierce from chess to football.
Yeah,
I know.
Princeton moves to 1-1 on the year with a 55-35 win over Garland, Naaman Forest, where our buddy Allie Vinson is now.
Okay.
Yeah, playing linebacker. He had a really good game last week, and I haven't seen highlights this week, but that's where he's at.
We don't go to Princeton this year, do we?
No, they come to our place. October 11th.
Only a few of us could go.
Yeah, we'd have to have a lottery.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah,
they have to do a lottery for those tickets.
Exactly. McKinney moves to 1-1 on the year with a 41-24 win over Lakeview Centennial. McKinney Boyd drops to 1-1 on the year. They lose to Wiley East 38-8, which, and Boyd scored 56 last week, so I was like, what happened over there this week? And they only dropped to 8. Prosper bounces back after their loss to Westlake last week. They beat Rockwall Heath 49-18 to move to 1-1 on the year, and we've already talked about
and that's a Rockwall Heath team that lost against Highland Park, I think it was.
It was, and Rodney Webb is now coaching over there, who was the coach at Geyer for a year, and he was at Rockwall before that, and then he went to Highland Park as AD for a year, and then he's back in the coaching rank. So he's
should have stayed AD.
Yeah, he should have stayed in Highland Park.
Yeah.
So
why would you ever leave Highland Park?
Well, Randy Allen certainly isn't leaving.
He tried.
They moved to 2-0 on the year.
He's the winner of the comeback award.
They beat Lovejoy. We were talking earlier, because we always look out, at potential down the road. North Crowley beats DeSoto last night in DeSoto.
That's big.
A game that had almost 1,200 yards of offense. I was telling these guys there were 29 penalties.
Yeah.
Wow. It was one of those.
Terribly undisciplined.
They had to have all those yards to overcome the penalties.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's them just being a little bit too big-headed.
A lot of long runs by North Crowley. They had a running back move in like 2 weeks before the season started. 3 or 4-star running back move in. I think he came from Abilene, or he came out from West Texas somewhere to add to their arsenal.
Well, that recruiting ring is.
Yeah, that one blew up this last couple of years. So North Crowley's looking pretty strong. You know, take down DeSoto, who I thought DeSoto would win every game this year, but we'll see. They got Duncanville on their schedule still in their district, but that's something to keep in mind as we move forward. Louisville loses
after being up quite
most of the game. Yeah, the last minute they lose to Byron Nelson, which was interesting.
Just means anything can happen.
It can. And it might. So stay focused, Eagles. You've got everything in front of you.
I mean, these kids, they it's like we said earlier, they're starting to believe in themselves, and it's showing. It was, I mean, granted, I was out of town last week, and so this is my first seeing these guys this year, and it was
still
impressive. It was impressive.
He said you still haven't seen a full game.
You know what? You're on. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You're in the doghouse.
Good comeback.
Right in the book.
You know, you're on
double probationary status.
Got it. So, to everybody who listened, thank you. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Pass it on to your friends.
Yeah.
We'll have highlights here.
Every subscription, we get a penny.
Yeah. Just so you know, James does a lot of highlights, and sometimes we don't talk about that actual highlight. So even when we're done talking, just stay and watch, because any highlights we don't talk about that you've given me, I'm adding on to the end of the podcast. So
a lot of the defensive stuff, because they don't cover that in the play-by-play quite so much. You'll have a great defensive play in the middle of a series.
Sure.
While it's not a possession changer, it's a momentum killer.
Yeah, kind of like the ball handed off to our defensive player.
Exactly. Mr. Wilkinson got it. And
thank you very much.
Player of the game, offense, defense. Who are we going to pick this week?
I'd say because of the great passes and the hard runs, I say we give it to Brady.
Agree on the offense.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
I got to give it to the defense.
Well, you give them one of each. The whole defense?
I give it to the whole defense.
Well, the defensive player of the game is the defense.
There you go. Chase Hargis.
I'm with Nolan.
Love you, brother. Thank you for stepping up and making that defense what it is. And that's 2 games in a row where it's been very impressive, and we expect nothing but...
Yeah. And if there's something you're doing to create this synchronicity between the guys, keep doing it. We love it.
Word.
Yeah. So it was impressive.
Sting thing.
And you replaced up front, you replaced everybody from last year.
Yeah.
And it's been very positive so far watching the
conditioning is showing up.
The common factor here is their coaches have been coming out to our tailgate, so they have to keep coming out.
It's true.
They can't just not. They'll get ready to go to the. Oh no, I got to go to the tailgate.
I thought it was not only coming out, but having Dr. Peppers. And
Coach Brooke, thanks for bringing
pizza.
Your family. That was nice to meet your family yesterday.
That was so awesome.
Your wife and your daughters, and now I know not to let your
coach
youngest.
coming out yesterday.
So that was good. We enjoy that, and we get to spend a little bit of time. Coach McCray, we missed you because your wisdom is always something we love hearing every week.
There you go.
So all of you feel free to come out and spread some of it on, because we need to be wiser.
Yeah.
So till next week, folks. Don't forget Prosper Rock Hill, 7 o'clock at Prosper.
Be there.
Be there.
Go Horns.
Oh yeah, hook them today. We need a
pig.
Get your guns up.
Yeah, you almost lost to my home alma mater last week.
Yeah, a little ace.
Little ACU almost pulled
action.
the upset over.
Yeah, they did.
Whew.
Got sacked on a 2-point conversion.
I know, man.
Rather than kick the extra point.
West Texas would have been pretty depressing.
It would have been awesome.
Oh, is that different
West
from
Texas
usual?
is already depressing.
Up with the plains, baby.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next week, it's over, and we are out. Peace.
Here's an
It's going to be good. Come on, bring it out. Bring it out. There we go. Jeez Louise.
Man, when it rains, it pours.
Bryce Watson on the carry.
Yeah!